As someone who plays Star Citizen on a regular basis, I know that CIG is constantly trying to make the game better because every 3 months they have a new major patch, and within that time period, usually about every month or so, they have a smaller patch to fix bugs and things like that. Sometimes it can be hard to keep up with what they have fixed, what issues they know exist but are currently working on, and altogether what will be coming to the game in the future as far as new features, ships, locations, etc. In today's video, I'm going to go over the most recent update to 3.12. I'm going to go over what we can look forward to in 3.13, and then I'm going to share a little bit on how to read the new roadmap that they just released with 3.12. I know I'm a little late on that, but I feel like there's still some people out there that don't quite understand how to read it, and they're taking the roadmap as, oh, so I can expect this thing at this time, but that's not actually how it works. And later in this video I will explain. With all of that said and out of the way, my name is Eternal Pain, and if you like to keep up to date with Star Citizen's development, ship reviews, and just general tips and tricks guides on how to survive in the verse, you have come to the right place, so consider subscribing so you don't miss any more of my videos. Now, let's talk about updates. Now in 3.12, we saw an entire slew of things that they brought into the game, and if you missed it, go ahead and check out my video talking about everything that we got in 3.12. But they broke a few things too. The bounty hunting system specifically is what I'm going to talk about right now. Whenever you had to do a character reset, it broke the bounties to where you could no longer do bounty hunting missions. As part of a subsequent update to 3.12, they have fixed that, and there are also a load of known issues and other bug fixes that I'm going to talk about now. So I'm just going to go down the list here and read the patch notes for 3.12b that was released a few days ago. As far as known issues for the patch go, when logging into some commodity and refinery kiosks, they can display incorrect commodity information and prevent sales. A workaround for that is to try other trade terminals and a different location altogether, test relogging and trying again, and Area 18 specifically will error and fail in the admin office trade terminals. Another known issue is illegal drug terminals are missing from their intended locations in rest stops, so a workaround for that, they have temporarily added slam cell inventories to 2 junk sites in the PU. Not sure which ones they are, but that's what they said. Selling commodities from personal inventory causes a service error, and a workaround for that is to make a commodity cargo box in a ship cargo grid and sell through the ship inventory instead. The mission named A Very Difficult Task automatically completes when accepted. Select Crusader series station external elevators are missing, specifically Crusader L1 and Crusader L5. Attempting to sell minerals in a prison results in a processing screen and then a transaction failed message. The shopkeepers of both live fire weapons and Garrity defense are stood away from their desks. Being arrested with both utility slots occupied causes the player to respawn in prison with a broken multi-tool. That's been an error that's been plaguing for the last couple of updates now. Mission Giver's AI will break if an NPC sits in their designated seat before they do. So that's all for the known issues. Nothing extremely major except for the broken multi-tool and the missing elevators. Right, as far as the bug fixes go, like I said, the bounty assignments should now show correctly after a player reset. After exiting quantum travel, the QT HUD on ships should no longer get stuck displaying while the QT drive is cooling down. Ground vehicles should no longer take intermittent damage during travel across the surface of low gravity moons. Players should now be able to activate mining consumables in the mole using their Inner Thought UI. Before, it was never available to use mining consumables at all in the mole. Players should no longer gain a crime stat after completing bounty missions. That's a plus because I do a lot of bounty missions. Fixed an issue causing ships to despawn after a player disembarks for a short duration. That one sucks. I've had it happen to me a few times, and it's really annoying when you touch down on a moon, get out of your ship, and then poof, bye-bye. Contract pop-ups should no longer contain mission title instead of the intended text. And as far as the technical side of things, they have fixed 7 client crashes and 2 server crashes. I have played around in this patch a little bit, and it does seem a little more stable. I have only experienced one 30K, and it was after playing for about 9 hours on the same server, which is something that usually doesn't happen. All right, now let's move on to talking about update 3.13, which is the next update where we have some cards that show us pretty much exactly what's going to be in that patch so that we all can enjoy. First, I'm going to go over the gameplay updates, and I'm going to start here. There's an update to force reactions, and the card reads, expanding on the physics-based reactions to physical forces, actors are made to stagger and collide with their environment and experience inertia regardless of being the pilot. That sounds interesting. I wonder how much I'm going to rattle around when I slam into an asteroid with my Mercury Star Runner now. They're bringing hacking tech into the game. It's going to be on a very small scale to start with, but the card reads, all back-end tech tasks related to creating the first pass of the hacking feature that will be used in future location and mission updates. When implemented in-game, this feature will be used to access systems and areas that have been previously closed to the player. The hacking process will be represented via a minigame that is displayed on the player's HUD visor. That sounds pretty cool. I've been waiting for some of the more stealthy and technological things to come into the game. A big one is Merlin/Constellation docking. It's been for the longest time that docking does not work in ships at all, and if you sit in the Merlin in the back of a Constellation, you get stuck and some bad things happen. But they are now adding the ability for the Merlin snub ship to dock and undock with Constellation, along with guidance mode UI to ensure correct alignment during the docking process. So basically they don't trust you to do it yourself, which I wouldn't trust me to do it myself either. Missiles are receiving another update. They are converting missiles to use the IFCS guidance and control system. This will improve missile performance and tracking ability, enabling greater control over general missile behaviors. There is also a missile operator mode that will allow you to select specific missiles on your ship and fire those accordingly. Going back to the topic of docking, ship-to-station docking will become a thing for certain ships where you will be assigned a specific port and they will build out a docking connector and a lobby for large ships to connect to. Version 2 of the law system will be seen in 3.13, where they will give you the option to surrender instead of having to fight until the bitter end. This way you can probably just exit your ship and not have to worry about it getting glitched out after it gets destroyed when you go to prison. But your ship will be impounded if you are a criminal. This will work by powering down your ship when commanded to do so by the security force and just letting them board you, I'm assuming, which would be kind of cool. Power down your ship, open up your bay and just let them take you. Kind of curious to see what kind of animation or process they have worked out for that. A feature that I have been looking forward to for a very long time, vehicle names and serial numbers. In 3.13, you will be able to name your ship, and that ship will be assigned a specific serial number so that multiple players could have the same name on their ship, but the serial numbers will never be the same. This allows for more personalization in the game, and honestly, if you ask me, it makes it a little more immersive of an experience. I honestly wonder how many Razor Crests, Millennium Falcons, and Red Ones we're going to see running around in the verse. I guess we'll find out when 3.13 gets here. Another interesting thing is visual degradation on your vehicles. As your ship gets older, it will start to show wear and tear on the externals of the hull, giving your ship a little bit of uniqueness to it as it gets older. But if you're like a majority of the players that are in the verse right now, it's not going to matter because you're just going to claim your ship when it starts to look not so fancy. Me, on the other hand, I am going to wear those scars with pride. We're gonna have some updates for locations in the verse. With the refineries to start things out, they are introducing a new non-commercial overlay to entry areas of refinery stations to add more variety and better suit the theme. I don't really know what this is going to look like, but okay. The entire system of Stanton is getting a polish. They're updating assets, object presets, planet painting, and the global data of all planetary bodies in the Stanton system. So it's probably going to look a lot more beautiful than it currently does. I've said it a million times, Star Citizen is an already beautiful game, and they just keep polishing and keep polishing, and it just keeps looking better and better. We're getting new cave entrances, dive-in and sinkhole. The dive-in entrances will allow you to enter with a vehicle, and the sinkhole will require players to enter and exit using a ship. Assuming that there's going to be various sizes on these, because they don't specify what size ship you're going to need, whether you need to go in with something like an Arrow, or if you can take something the size of a Mercury Star Runner or even a Hammerhead in there. Highly doubt it's going to be capital ship accessible. I would assume that it's probably going to be nothing no bigger than maybe a Cutlass Black, but I could be wrong. Never know. Let me know your opinions. Something I have been waiting on as far as visual updates go is they are replacing the asteroids that are currently in the Stanton system with new organic assets, things that look more natural, things that actually look like floating rocks instead of floating globs of clay. I wonder if you're finally going to be able to land your ship on one of those, or if it's still just going to bounce you off like, nope. Guess we'll find out when they get here. Well, that does it for the location updates. In 3.13, we're going to be seeing a couple of new ships, which are just two variants of the same ship. I'm pretty certain throughout the year we'll see a decent amount of new ships, but they are going to be introducing the M2 Hercules military transporter and the C2 Starlifter as flight-ready vehicles. It's pretty cool. These things are fairly big, and I will not be buying one because they are expensive as hell. No, I'm broke. I am a broke-ass gamer. As far as weapons go, we're only seeing one weapons update, it looks like, so far, and that is finally the ability to use mounted guns on vehicles. It's only been forever. Thanks, guys. Now we can actually have somebody in the back of Cyclone and treat it like a warthog from Halo. All right, and now it's the big one. They are converting legacy data management to iCache. For those of you who don't know what iCache is, I will be releasing a video that explains it in detail later, but just know this: it is the thing that we have been waiting on for greater persistence in the universe. It is what's going to allow them to finally work on server meshing and just overall add more stability to the game so that we don't experience a 30K every couple of hours. But like I said, this latest patch is a little more stable, but iCache is a big deal. If you don't want to wait on my video for it, Super Mac Bros has a very good video on it that I will link in the description. Go over there, check that guy's channel out. He is amazing when it comes to Star Citizen content, and he can keep you up to date a lot better than I can, because I'm just a normal guy with a day job and a child, and I don't have a whole lot of time to work on these videos, but I still do it anyway because I love Star Citizen and I love you guys. Cringe. All right, so for the final part of this video, I said I was going to go over the roadmap and kind of show you how to read it a little bit. So this right here is what's known as the release view. It'll show you all of the past patches and the next patch that's getting ready to come out. So right here's 3.12 it just released. If you click on that and open it up, it'll show you every feature that was introduced in 3.12. And if you click on 3.13, it will show you all the features that we just went over that you can expect in 3.13. But do be aware that these are subject to change. Just like anything with Star Citizen, sometimes they fall behind schedule. Squadron 42. Anybody hear that? Huh. Anyway, if you go up to the progress tracker here, it'll show you what they're working on currently and for how long they're working on it. So I really wish I could make this just a little bit smaller, but I can't. Anyway, if I click on the actor tech team here, we go to force reactions. They've got a 7-week sprint going on, and they will show you it's working on that whole time, and they should be done around the end of February with this specific task. That doesn't mean that, oh, when this is done, then that whole feature's coming out into the game. That's not how you read this map. The way you read this roadmap is it's just what they're currently working on. The only things that usually are for certain coming into the game are what's on the release view in the next patch preview. But if you want to go over this for yourself, it'll show you what features they're currently working on and maybe give you an idea of what will be coming into the game in the future, so that you can make an even more informed decision as to whether or not this game is for you. If you're a new player watching this right now and you go over all of this and say, hey, that's interesting, just remember I have a code down below that if you enter that code when you purchase your starter pack, you'll get an extra 5,000 AUEC just to help you start your journey out. Shameless self-promotion. Anyway, but this roadmap can be a little confusing to read for those of us who just want to know what's coming and when it's coming. But this will give you an idea of what they're currently working on, and that's what this roadmap was designed for, was to show you what they are working on when they're working on it. Everything is subject to change in this roadmap, and if you want to stay up to date with it, just keep coming back here and look. In future videos I'll probably go over a little bit of this, but like I said, there's too much to go over right now, and this video would be insanely long if I did so. So I'm going to end it right there. Hopefully I've given you guys a little bit more of an understanding on how to read this roadmap. Hopefully I've provided you with sufficient information about what to look forward to in the next patch. And for those of you who didn't read the patch notes and came to this video to see it instead, you're lazy, but I love you. Anyway, that all being said, my name has been Eternal Pain. Thank you guys for watching, and above all else, remember to have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time in the verse.